Shelley is, met her at the CSD meeting, sharp with all that she's the subject matter expert. And let's give her a good hand here. Shelley Black.
I'm Shelley Black. I live here in Bear Valley, been here 15 years. Thank you so much for this. Okay, so I'm going to start with some questions. I want to have everybody raise their hand. There's no right or wrong answers. I just want us to have an idea of what we have in our community, and I want to get our brains thinking of what we need to be thinking about. Okay, how many here have read the DPAC, which is our Disaster Preparedness Action Committee for the CSD of Bear Valley? How many here have read the DPAC Wildfire Mitigation and Evacuation Directions on the CSD website? And you guys look around too, see what your neighbors and friends are doing, get a feel for our community because we're working together. How many here have personalized those plans for their own mitigation and evacuation of their own personal property? Good job, good job. How many here have evacuation plans A, B, C, and D, ranging from if you have a 3-day notice of a wildfire versus a 5-minute notice of a wildfire? Your evacuation plan is very different in all of those scenarios. Anybody? Well done. How many here know that, How many here know that your own evacuation plans are 100% solid with everyone in your household, and that you're all so well rehearsed you could do them in your sleep? Fires happen in the night. How many here have evaluated their property from all directions to assess where your 5 weakest access points are for succumbing to a wildfire? How many here have been evacuated from a fire before? How many have ever lost anything to a wildfire? How many have been part of a fire-safe community? 1 hand. 2. How many have helped coordinate and create a fire-prepared and mitigated neighborhood before? How many here have an evacuation plan that is coordinated between everyone in your neighborhood? How many here have an evacuation plan if a wildfire is coming at us from Golden Hills and the 202 is shut down? How many here feel that if we had a catastrophic wildfire today, that our community is properly prepared for a well-executed response? Who here, either yourself or someone you know, would need help in an evacuation? Who here, either yourself or someone you know, would require assistance to evacuate all of their animals? Who knows how to turn off their gas and water mains? Ha! That one rocked. How many here are either active or retired first responders? Thank you. Thank you. Who here thinks we could benefit from a volunteer fire department in Bear Valley? Who already has a ham radio and is connected with our BVS ERT emergency response team? How many here have other skills or experience that could be beneficial in disaster preparedness or evacuations? Who feels knowing these kind of details about your immediate neighbors would be beneficial? How many here right this minute have all the leaves completely cleared off your property? Who here has a property adjacent to them that's not properly fire cleared or mitigated? How many here know what fire hardening means and what levels 1, 2, and 3 are. Fire hardening is fire mitigation, clearance and preparation for your property. Who here would feel safer and sleep better at night if they knew we had a comprehensive and collaborative community wildfire action plan? And prior to hearing about this meeting, who was aware of the FireWise USA program and the benefits it can provide? Prior to the information for this meeting, who here knew we had an insurance cancellation moratorium in effect right now that expires in July? And prior to this meeting, who knew that the insurance changes for California taking effect in August after the moratorium expires mean that the current caps of our fire insurance will be removed and they can charge us any amount they want? That's how they're bringing them back to us. You saw it on the news. They're bringing them back because they can charge what they want. Who here has already had their insurance go up by more than 20% in the last year? Who here's had their insurance canceled? Who here's been forced to go on the very expensive California Fair plan? Unfair. Who here is afraid of having their insurance canceled or having your policy be more than you can afford? Who here has received their insurance information and seen the new boxes to check that are essentially your good driver discount? Going to learn about those today. How many people prior to this meeting knew that as of October 1st, 2024, there's a state mandate that you get discounts on your insurance if you're part of a FireWise USA neighborhood? Mandated. All of us. Who here has had someone offer to help you become certified as a FireWise USA property? Thank you. Who here has had someone reach out to you to explain all these new changes within the insurance industry that directly affect you? How many of you right this minute are glad you made the choice to show up here today? Thank you. I'd like to take a moment of silence. Let's thank all the firefighters and the first responders. We have them coming all over California, the whole country, Canada, Mexico, Ukraine, everywhere, to save us and help us. Let's take a moment to say a prayer for all of the people and all of the animals that were affected. I'd like to take a moment of that silence right now. Thank you. Amen. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to go through what I have written down here, and then I'll open the floor up for questions. So again, I want to thank you all so much for coming here today. We're a group of people with various backgrounds, work experience. We have all kinds of different opinions and views, but we all have one thing in common: our concern for protecting our homes, our families, our pets, our friends, and our neighbors. All of you here are showing yourselves to be an asset to this community because you took the time to show up today, and I want to thank all of you for that. All right, so who am I? Who I am today based on my experience: I served 2 decades, a little over 2 decades, as a volunteer firefighter in Cleveland National Forest, Holy Jim Canyon, out in Chabico Canyon. We were completely off-grid, no running water, long before cell service. I helped maintain 46 cabins. Only 7 stand today. All the rest have burnt down in the last 6 years. I served a decade with MAU, which is Mounted Assistance Unit, search and rescue for all-terrain rescue of large animals and humans. I was actively involved in a coordinated community fire preparedness plan that was utilized in 2007 for a catastrophic fire where my community of Chabico Canyon was evacuated for 10 days. I assisted in the evacuation of the Chabico Canyon residents and then subsequently the rescue and care of 700 horses who were fleeing wildfires from all over California. We had them dropped off in 24 hours at a facility that had no water, hoses, no water buckets, nothing. 700 horses. Jeff Kermode, Debbie Geary, Doug Slavin, Fiona Nelson, Greg Hahn, we were all there. I've had a lifetime of participating in and leading community group efforts for various needs within my communities. I'm educated and experienced in disaster preparedness, fire mitigation, and fire evacuation. Today I will address 3 related topics in this presentation. 1, how you can help protect your home from ever burning in a wildfire. 2, explaining what you need to know about qualifying to be in a FireWise USA neighborhood and how being nationally certified as a FireWise USA designated property can benefit you. This can position you for an ongoing, realistically viable insurance options with reduced rates. 3, outlining how we can work together to be prepared on a community level with our individual and valley-wide wildfire mitigations, along with coordinated actionable evacuation plans. Each one of us is here because we're concerned and even afraid, and we should be. We must adapt to a new way of life. I'm here to help us all figure it out together. Okay, together. This is our first meeting. There'll be more as new information will be gathered and shared. We're in the driest month in January that I've lived here in 15 years. Fire season all year long. It's pretty real right now. So first off, I want to quickly talk about the elephant in the room that some of you know. I'm a distributor for a product called Barricade Fire Gel. I'm not here to sell that product today. I won't take any orders for it today, and I won't take any questions for it today. That is not what this meeting is for, and it's not available. It's sold out worldwide until the middle of March. But I would be remiss if I didn't provide the information. In the last 12 days, I have cried every day and lost sleep every night because thousands of the homes that were lost this last few weeks could have been saved if they had known about this product, but they didn't know about it. And that gives me the most gut-wrenching, frustrated shame because I'm trying to get the word out there. And those people they did not know. And how many thousands of homes could have been saved right now is phenomenal. So I feel it is my duty as your neighbor to let you know this product exists, because I would be remiss if I did not, and then you lost your home because you didn't know you had a way to save it. Again, I'm not selling it today, and I will not take any questions. I have information back there, as well as the actual product that you can see it. We could always have another community meeting about that. Okay, Barricade Fire Gel. I used it myself in 2007. Who here currently owns Barricade or has it on the way in an order in the mail? Okay. Do any of you have any buyer's remorse for getting that product? No. Do you feel safer, less anxious and less fearful, and more empowered and in control of your situation now that you have that on hand? Yes. Okay. Feels good, doesn't it? Feels real good. Okay. So, Barricade is a fire retardant gel that the U.S. Forestry Service uses for airdrops, but it's also available to homeowners to easily apply with a garden hose. It's a full-stop fire protection that will protect anything you spray it on, structures and everything inside them. Your vehicles, propane tanks, generators, trees, shrubs, everything. Barricade gel can handle 5,000 degrees. The Burrell fire was 2,200 degrees. Barricade has been approved for the past 20 years by the U.S. Fire Authority, the U.S. Forestry Service, FEMA, and the EPA. You can find YouTube videos about it by searching Barricade Fire Gel, as seen on Dateline, Good Morning America, Discovery Channel, The Weather Channel, and plenty more. It's extremely economical, and its shelf life is 5 to 10 years. I'm creating a database of everyone in Bear Valley that has the gel, as this will be very beneficial to our fire department in a wildfire, as they will know which houses will be assets to their efforts. This is not what we're here to talk about today, but I had to give you this information, and we can discuss it further for anybody who wants to know at another date. Grab yourself a handout back there. Okay, our main topic of today is the Firewise USA Volunteer Program, which is designed to give a lifeline to those of us living in high fire risk areas. The program was created by NFPA, the National Fire Protection Association, and it is administered by CAL FIRE. Our Kern County Fireways program is called kernfiresafe.org, and Wendy Ward is our Kern County leader for the program. Wendy has spoken at our CSD meetings, our DPAC, again, Disaster Preparedness Action Committee meetings, and association meetings, attempting to get people to create Firewise communities. And yet, up until just a few weeks ago, there hadn't been a single Firewise community created in all of Kern County. They just did their first one in Golden Hills. It was 11 homes, but we have our first successful 11th Street home in Kern County. I'm currently working with my friends and neighbors on my street, Columbia Way, and we do have some new neighbors that I invited here who I don't know, so please let me get your info at the end of today. Where am I? I lost this. Okay. So currently, I'm working on Columbia Way and Martingale Way to get my first two Firewise USA certified neighborhoods. While this process is underway, I'm working to unite as many of our Bear Valley residents together as I possibly can so that we can actually create the largest Firewise USA neighborhood in the country. That's my plan. Okay, so what is a Firewise USA neighborhood, and what would it look like? What we have up on the screen, kind of hard to see. There were pamphlets earlier. That's all that were left in Kern County. I didn't have more. The white pieces of paper the white paper that you got is not Firewise paperwork. That's something I have created specifically for all of you here today. The pamphlets we ran out of is showing you basically what we're looking at. Okay, so the Firewise program is a volunteer program, and it's called a neighborhood. And a neighborhood can have 8 to 2,500 homes in it. Here are the main things you need to know about Firewise USA program. As of October 1st, 2024, it is state mandated within California that insurance companies provide discounts for certified Firewise neighborhoods. As the current insurance industry goes through the inevitable enormous changes we're about to suffer through, they'll be looking for and rewarding properties that have taken the steps to be Firewise communities. Again, I'm striving for us to be the largest one in the nation, to be the Gold Star poster child. That's what I'd like. Firewise USA is a volunteer program, and anyone can start their own neighborhood. It's a 3-year commitment and requires a minimum of 8 homes that are neighbors. The leader needs to understand fire mitigation, and they need to gather the neighborhood mitigation data, provide guidance and education, as well as individualized prescribed action plans for the homes in the neighborhood. The leader is then responsible for completing and submitting all the paperwork and requirements and getting it processed through the CAL FIRE application process. Most importantly, what we want to know about this program, once a Firewise USA neighborhood is certified and recognized, it's going into a national database that all insurance companies have access to and are to utilize in order to offer you insurance. Once a community's been established, nobody can join after the fact. It's a closed community. There's no open enrollment the next year or the year after. So anybody who isn't in the community will not be in the database and will not have the benefits, even if they live next door to you. Now, off script, just to go further into it, we all have neighbors who don't take care of their property, and that's a concern for us. They do not cause a problem for you to get into this program. The way this program was designed is to give all of us who actually do proper fire clearance recognition and acknowledgement with a certification that's posted nationally. That is to reward the people who are already proactive and taking care of their property. It's giving us the recognition and that they know we're here, that we're doing it. Now, how the community ends up working is not everybody has to be 100% compliant with everything. I have trees too close to my house, but you're an overall community of a neighborhood, and it's a percentage of the neighborhood who have mitigated their fire clearance to the best of their ability, and it's documented. So, the neighbors you have who do not take care of their property will not qualify to be in the program. Nobody has to be in the program, it's completely voluntary, and anybody who wants to be can, and anybody who doesn't need to. But once the program is closed, and then they get canceled and they'd like to be in the program, I'm not able to let them back in because they've already rewarded the people who took the effort. They can create their own community themselves at that point. They would have to find a minimum of 8 neighboring houses who weren't already in the community who are now wanting to be in one. Can be done, I suppose. Okay, so, all right, our rewards for being in the program will be the ability to continue having an insurable property, and AKA a sellable property, as well as saving you money on your insurance. Let's look at the insurance savings that have become available to all of us. Actually missed a screen. Let's flip that one more screen, and then we'll get to the next one. I've already jumped ahead. That screen that was up there is showing you overall picture. This is showing you the red outline is your 5 feet zone, and that's what we work on for the first year, is only the 5 feet. That's all we focus on first year for this program. The second year we do 5 to 30 feet, and the third year we do 30 to 100 feet. Not everybody's property has 100 feet. It's okay, it's all figured into the plan. They knew. Okay, so now we're going to go to our next screen. This is a copy of my current insurance policy, okay? Now, you can see I'm very lucky. I pay less than $3,000 a year. Knock on wood, today. Today, that's what I pay. But my policy did just get renewed, and this is it. You can see the little boxes checked up there of the things that give you a good driver discount, so to speak. And you can see on there that it's showing that, I've got some discounts that total $279, okay, annually. All right, let's flip to the next screen. I hope you can see this, and if you can't, I will try to talk my way through it best I could. It didn't work out for me to make copies of this for all of you, and I apologize. What you're seeing on there, across the top, it's telling you that these are the things you can receive a discount on, and that you should be aware of them so that you can start doing something with them. This is my policy, and it gives a 0.5% discount for each one of the things in that whole top category. For these various things, you will get a discount on your insurance. As we go through the FireWise community, the FireWise program, you're automatically getting recognized for these things. Where you see the check marks in the box, those are the ones that I currently qualify for and am not getting credit for, because I have to tell my insurance that I qualify for them. But I didn't know that before October 24, did we? 2024. Now at the very bottom, you see 2 little extra boxes down there. One of them says that I get 1.1% off if I'm part of a fire mitigated community. And I get another 1% off if I'm a part of a certified FireWise USA community. A friend of mine showed me her policy, which is I'm with Travelers. Her policy is with Hippo. It's exactly the same, except for they're a little bit cheaper. They only do 0.5 in those 2 bottom boxes, where mine does 1. Either way, once we become a FireWise community, I qualify for all the boxes that I marked off right there. And that will save me $160 a year on my $3,000 a year policy. I talked to somebody the other day in Bear Valley, their policy is $15,000 a year. If they met that same criteria that I meet, which is fairly minimal, their savings would be $825 a year. But most importantly, once you're a FireWise community and you're certified and recognized, you're going into a database. Starting next July and August, insurance companies coming back here are going to be looking who is in the database and who is not. Whoever is in the database, they know they've been proactive at trying to protect their property and prevent loss. That's what they want. Anyone who's not in the community, they don't know what their property is like, but they're not going to ask you because they're not even going to look at you. They're going to look at the ones that have taken the action because it prevents loss and saves them money. The FireWise program was designed this way between the National Fire Association, CAL FIRE, the state of California, and the insurance companies. It's a coordinated contract that's available to all of us. But no, other than me, nobody's coming around to tell you this. All right. So what do you do to qualify? To be honest, it's not that hard. Most of us already qualify, which is fantastic. The goal of this program is to identify the properties who do qualify and reward them for their accomplishments. It's a way for each of us to have our individual fire clearance and preparedness efforts documented and again rewarded. Okay, how many people here spend one or more hours a year doing fire prevention activities on their property? You just met the criteria. Okay, so you're pretty much almost qualified for your first year program right there, all right? So, in the first year, we're going to focus on just the first 5 feet perimeter around your home. That's it. I will educate you on what they're looking for, and we'll let you know what qualifications you've already met and which ones you need to work towards meeting. That's basically it in a nutshell for you, the homeowners. That's the easy part. Coming to this meeting and doing fire mitigation within the 5 feet of your home is pretty much it. You are required to go to 1 to 2 meetings a year. I'm going to have a lot more than that, okay? The second year we address the 5 to 30 feet from your home, and the third year we do 30 to 100 feet. Now, if you allow me to be your fire safe community leader, I'll provide the meetings, the information, and the education, the neighborhood action plans, and the follow-up on the progress of said plans. And then the most challenging part, I'll get your neighborhood through the CAL FIRE acceptance process. Once that's done, you'll automatically be put in the national database, and your insurance will be required to give you a reduction. And if ever you need to switch insurance companies, prospective companies will be available to you and offering you discounted rates. You would now be in a position that insurance companies are looking for rather than running away from. So the FireWise USA is a fantastic plan, and it's going to be a game changer for all of us. But to be honest, it only goes so far. As someone who's had decades of fire experience and living in fire areas with risky fire conditions, I want to go further because we need to go further, okay, as a community. Beyond the FireWise program, we're collaborating here right now to have a cohesive, comprehensive, coherent, collaborating community that is perfectly poised and prepared to protect and prevent loss and destruction from wildfires. I had to have some fun with words. This was a lot of work, so. Okay, I'm calling this massive community effort a fire safe community, which our basic motto will be principles before personalities. Within our community, we'll work together to become nationally certified FireWise USA neighborhoods. With your help, and some of you will help more than others, which is fabulous, as we each have our individual assets, wisdom, experience, capabilities, and availabilities. We will go beyond their basic requirements to develop a community that is exceedingly prepared for disasters on an individual level, as well as a community-wide level. We will develop personalized action plans in place for each neighborhood within BVS. I do want to also help Stallion and Cummings, and quite honestly, all of Tehachapi, but I live in Bear Valley, so we're starting. We will know which neighbors would require assistance in a disaster situation and which neighbors may be able to step up and provide assistance to others. We will have local experts in fire mitigation ready to help with property preparedness and hardening, and first responders who will step up to help in disaster situations. We'll have closer connections to our immediate neighbors and longer-reaching connections to all the folks throughout the whole valley. So no matter what might happen, we have a network of people who have plans of action set in place. We will aspire to create a volunteer fire department, and we will utilize our BVS ERT, emergency radio system, available for within our community so that we can effectively communicate even if we lost all power and internet. For those who need it, I can help assist you. For those who need it, I can help assess your particular wildfire weaknesses and access points on your property and your home, helping you formulate your personalized action plans. Now, for Firewise USA, this is a volunteer program. I was originally just going to do 8 homes on my street and protect my own assets. But the reality is, we're a community, and we all need to be more prepared and better organized if we want to survive a natural disaster. I don't want to be the only 8 homes left standing in Bear Valley if a wildfire comes through. I want all my neighbors to be safe, prepared, and protected. If everyone in Bear Valley wanted to create their own Firewise neighborhood of 8 homes, we would have 467 different neighborhoods with 467 different fragmented action plans. We would be literally missing out on the most important aspect of creating neighborhoods, which is the community collaboration and cohesion. We need a community-wide action plan that is realistic and viable and that is understood by everyone, not just somebody's opinion on next door. Many valid opinions, all too random. This is how we can handle a disaster with planned efficiency that puts us all in a position to successfully protect our community together. Because united, we stand. Divided, we fall. I've spent the past 5 months reaching out to the CSD, the DPAC Committee, the Bear Valley Association, and our state senator, Shannon Grove, seeking assistance to support my taking on this monumental task, rather than just doing my 8 streets, which I could do and just call it a day. What I've learned is that while all of these entities feel this is a great idea, and they support it and feel it is much needed, they are not in positions to help me do it. I want to help all of you, so I tried to get back support behind me. I didn't get it, so I'm here today. And with all the insurance cancellation moratorium expiring in July and the caps on our insurance being removed in August, we must get this going immediately and handle it at warp speed. What I'm offering to all the 3,700 property owners in Bear Valley will require my dedicating my every waking moment to this for the next year, which is only the first of 3 years that make up the Firewise participant requirements. I'll be creating a portal on my website that will be accessible to members, providing pertinent information and resources. We're videotaping today's meeting, and if all goes well with technology, we'll have this available on YouTube, along with other valuable videos in the future. We can have Zoom meetings as needed, making coordinated meetings easier to attend, where we will have community meetings for ongoing discussions addressing a wide array of topics and community needs. Together, we can be more efficient, organized, and prepared. Since I was unable to get any government entities to support me in this effort, I need to ask for a nominal annual fee for those of you who'd like me to handle all of this for you. Again, it's a volunteer program. Anyone who wants to create their own Firewise neighborhood can do so. But if you want to be part of a valley-wide community coordinated effort that gets us all certified at warp speed in time for the crisis coming this summer, I'm here offering to lead the way and make that happen for all of us, not just the 8 homes on my street. If there's anybody who can't afford that and they want to be in the program, we'll work on that. I want everybody in this program. Okay, open for questions. Shoot away. Somebody has a microphone. We'll go right here. I saw her hand go first.
So you were talking about as far as like the neighborhoods with like at least 8 homes that are like in a neighborhood area. My street only has 5 houses, and 2 of the houses aren't even lived in. So could I have the opportunity then to go to, say, another street and kind of merge that in?
Absolutely.
So there's no distance?
Absolutely. There's no distance whatsoever because some people live 2 miles from their nearest neighbor, but that doesn't disqualify them for having a program. It's about having the connection of the people nearest you so that you're all on the same page and prepared in the same manner. Thank you.
Hi, thank you for an excellent presentation. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
I've looked at that fire retardant and I've been interested that lately they've been saying in the news, like in all that they've been dropping in LA, that it's really toxic to people and to animals. So that's my concern with that product. Maybe you could share more on that.
I will answer this one question, but I'm not going to answer barricade questions today, but I can be contacted independently and or have another meeting. No. It is actually EPA approved, and it's actually had the Clean Green Award annually. There are other fire products similar to it that don't have all those qualifications. This was the first one invented, and they found out the hard way to switch those ingredients, and they did it. Okay, Rick's got it.
Hi, thank you, Shelley, for the presentation.
Thank you.
I was wondering, with the homeowners, you said it's just the first 5 feet, and then you're going to tell them what needs to be done. Is there any inspections by anybody that is needed to be done in order for somebody to make sure that you have done that and to actually get into the database?
Nobody's coming to inspect your house, and nobody. Your insurance, nobody. I can inspect it from the road if I feel the need to, and I will come inspect it if you want me to. But this isn't going to get drones flying over your house or anything else. They do not have the manpower in this program. They have 0 manpower. I'm it. So, no inspections.
That's the only way it's verified, right? That's the only way it's going to be verified.
It's through me. Mm-hmm. I have to document all of it very elaborately, and I'm the one they're trusting that's telling the truth. I don't have to inspect your property, but I can from the road. I don't have permission to set foot on your property unless I'm scheduled with you and you've authorized me to do so. Family, stay focused on this question. I promise, Miriam.
It's actually not so much a question, but I don't think the need would be there because before the insurance companies would take you on, they would insist on photographs of your property completely before they decided that you were insurable. That's what I was thinking anyway.
Actually, that's a very good way to look at it. So to become certified for the FireWise USA, you don't have to interact with your insurance at all. It's going to go in the database and they're going to be alerted. They're going to know. You don't even have to call them. They're going to be told that you're in the database. As far as to get all those little check marks that I had on my fire mitigation of 5.5% off on all of those things, you will actually have to contact your insurance directly and provide them that information. And at that point in time, you could get inspected and you could have a drone fly over your house. I have no control over the insurance companies, but that's always your possibility. But at the same time, you're showing them that you're fire ready for them anyway. You've already raised your hand and said, I got this.
Shelley, I got a question real quick. What about the church here, if they want to be a part of it?
Yes.
They can?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I will help them do that, of course.
Okay.
So they do businesses
Yes.
which they would classify church as.
Yes.
Are there any regulations made by Cal Fish and Wildlife in removing native vegetation within the 100 feet from your property or beyond? And is it wise to do that if it's really beyond the property? Any regulations against this, like losing habitat or whatever?
That's a really good question that I actually don't have the answer to. I thought I had an answer ready today, but I don't have that one. Honestly, everything in the program is voluntary and nobody has to meet all the criteria, which is what makes it great, because I have trees too close to my house, but my neighbors Gil and Kathy have the pristine poster child home right next door to me, so we wash each other out. So, but do I want people killing oak trees or ripping out, endangered habitat or doing anything that's altering the wildlife around their property? I certainly don't want that. So we want to have viable action plans that will be individualized for each property that meet the needs of your property, which will be different and unique. Everyone's property will have different needs. Everyone's property has different access points. and everyone's property will respond differently in a fire, and every fire responds differently than every other fire.
What is the annual cost?
$100 a year, less than $10 a month per home.
And
I thought I said that, thank you. I hate asking for money, I'm the worst salesperson in the world.
Okay, and the second part of that is, obviously, this goes longer than 3 years. We want to continue it. So is this going to be an ongoing process?
Yes.
Every 3 years we go through this?
What happens is we do the 3 years of the action plan, and we get it all documented and certified, and then we coast for 2 years, but we stay active as a community and stay on top of what we're doing. And then at the end of the 5 years, we start over at square one again, just to re-up and show, hey, I put in fireproof windows since then, or hey, I did closed-in eaves since then, and we all get more brownie points for every one of those additions on everyone's home.
Who does the certification?
I will help you walk through that process, and it goes through the currentfiresafe.org, which is governed by CAL FIRE. Thank you. Wendy Ward is our person, and Wendy will walk me through every step of it all the way. It'll be all me, myself, Wendy Ward, and CAL FIRE working together for each and every community and neighborhood.
Yeah, you have the discounts for insurance companies. I wasn't paying attention to.
Oh, can we put that one screen back with the discounts?
You don't need, well, you can't go with the others, but I'm under the California plan. Those discounts were for regular insurance companies. California plan doesn't have any discounts other than adjusting your deductible or removing items from the plan itself.
They have the reductions, and they are required by state mandate as of October to give you a FireWise USA reduction. Absolutely.
You got a plan.
Yeah. If you've got a new policy since October 1st, it should be in your paperwork. If the policy you last received is prior to October 1st, you haven't seen it yet.
On the 8 mammal homes, what if you have a neighborhood situation where 1, 2, 3, and 4 are interested in this, and 5 and 6 could care less?
Perfect.
And 7 is maybe thinking about, what if you don't have 8 contiguous?
They don't have to be continuous. The plan is designed understanding that we all have neighbors we can't control, and it wants to reward those of us who actually take the proper actions. So you could have 5 or 6 homes in a row that either do not comply and or do not want to participate. Not your problem. We get all the ones who do want to participate and do comply. And if your neighborhood only has 5 homes in it, we will tie it in with the closest homes. And actually, I plan to have about 10 communities in Bear Valley, so give or take 100 homes per, they're called neighborhoods. So it's a U.S. Fire neighborhood. We're going to have about 10 of them. That gives about 100 homes. We don't need all 100 homes. If we get 50 or 60 of the 100, we're meeting our criteria and we can move forward. And when we create the maps, I will actually be sitting down in the CAL FIRE with the CAL FIRE people, and we create the maps with all of their back knowledge of the individual layouts, so we're all set for proper evacuations. It's all a choreographed effort that I did not create, but that's how the neighborhoods will be created as they happen. I am planning to have a 6-week open enrollment window. Okay, anybody who wants in 6 weeks, man, get me your stuff. You want to do it today? I have everything here you need today. What I need from people who want to be in it is you're going to give me, I have a checklist for you of everything that's already in place on your home and everything you're going to improve upon within the 5 feet. Once your neighborhood has all given me back that piece of paper, I'm ready to go ahead and start the certification process with FireWise USA. They take about 60 days from the time we start the process till we complete it. So I'm thinking a 6-week open window to get everybody you know, and I mean everybody. You don't have to like them, I don't care, you don't have to agree with them on anything. It's not what it's about. Tell all your neighbors, and if I can get this on a YouTube video, you can have this meeting with them just by giving them the YouTube. They can watch it on their own time and make their own decisions. We do not need to try to switch anybody's minds. We do not need to try to convince or convert anybody. We just want to find the people who are doing a good job and want to be acknowledged for it. Oh, and one last thing. I'm going to make some people upset in this room right now. Don't shoot the messenger. Okay? It's bad information, bad news you're not going to like, but it's not my news. In the last few years, it's become a new fashion for people to have semi-truckloads of wood chips brought in and dropped onto their properties. Those wood chips will be fire missiles shooting through the air, going to all the neighbors' homes if we have the kind of fire we just saw in LA. Those are all a fire risk and a fire hazard. I'm not sure why it suddenly became an overnight popular success, but I know that on different sides of my property, I've seen at least 20 semi-truckloads in different locations be dropped off that will blow onto my property on fire if a fire comes through. So unfortunately, if you have those on your property, you're not going to qualify to be in the program, and they're going to need to be removed. Please don't tractor them into the ground. They're lightweight. They're going to come back up. CSD's using them all over the valley as well. The only reason this is not an illegal practice is Kern County Fire never thought they had to come out with an ordinance saying, please don't haul in wildfire tinder that is ready to start it. We don't want to bring kindling into our yards. We want to remove the kindling out of our yards. Sorry for that bad tidbit. Next question?
I got onto the website, the Firewatch website, and I saw that there were about, 30, 40 questions, something about, are your roofs either tile or AAA fire rated, et cetera, all these questions, and it's in your neighborhood, how many houses, 25%, 50%, 75%. To be fire-wise, do you have to be in the top 75%? Or in the top 75%, how many of those particular items?
Excellent question. But what we are shooting for is 70% of the properties in a particular neighborhood meet 70% of the criteria. Some will meet 50% and some will meet 90%. And the program is designed to give us all that wonderful average. So we don't have one person gets an A and one gets an F. We get to share the average to benefit us all. Nobody's being singled out.
How are undeveloped properties being handled? I have a lot next door to me that I had to fight CFD probably 15 years ago. They finally cleared it, but it's gone back now. How is that being addressed?
Another great question. It's not. It will not be your problem as far as you're just, it's not part of the Firewise program in that it will not be a negative to you. They won't go, oh, we're not going to consider you because those people next door aren't doing a good job. It's actually designed to do the opposite and say we are going to consider you even though they're doing a bad job. So for the Firewise community, has zero impact on you. For your actual personal safety, has a big impact on you. So then, as I discussed earlier, I asked who knows there are 5 access points, primary access points for a fire to take hold. That is one of your 5 access points of concern, and you have to have your mitigation plans and such in place with that as one of your contributing factors.
Thank you.
Can I just... It was just a thought, but with the new insurers being encouraged to come back into the area, people participating in Firewise, wouldn't the hope be that the California Fair Plan would go away because we know it's not really sustainable, and then the insurance companies, so we could possibly be looking at one insurance carrier as opposed to having to carry 2. Does that make sense?
Yes. The Firewise program, although it was designed to work with the insurance companies, they don't actually have anything to do with the insurance companies. So whether CAL FIRE goes belly up or not, that won't have any impact on it. The program's set in place for all carriers to do the mandated discount, and which carriers choose to leave the state, that they can't control or go belly up, or, they're not part of that part.
Thank you.
Yes,
Just a quick question. The certification, is that transferable in the case of the sale of the property?
Absolutely, and this will be the difference of whether your property is sellable or not, because if your property is not insurable, it's a cash-only deal for somebody who's willing to put that much cash out with no insurance to back it. So if your property is in this program, it transfers to the new owner, and then the new owner has to participate in the program to remain in it. If they choose not to participate, they will be dropped.
Let's take a few more questions.
About the people that don't sign up for the next 6 weeks, I would think it would be a benefit long term to allow, like maybe next year, more people in or whatever. If we're really trying to get Bear Valley fire-wise, wouldn't it make sense to try to promote the people who didn't initially sign up?
Absolutely, absolutely, I agree with you 100%. Our dilemma is, you can't add any house to a certified neighborhood is closed. There's no new additions to a certified neighborhood. Another neighborhood can be created, but it will have to have homes that were not in the first plan, who are close enough to be neighbors, who are now willing to say, I want to be in the plan, and then they can do it. My reason for having a 6-week open enrollment window, as I'm calling it, because I'm literally calling this a membership to our fire safe community, which, by the way, calling it fire safe community because I'm involving all of Bear Valley, but the Firewise USA is neighborhoods, so we'll have about 10 different neighborhoods in the valley. Now I just lost the train of thought on that.
Well, so maybe next year there can be a new
Okay,
committee.
so the people who don't participate now, could be they choose not to, could be they don't qualify, could be you guys can help me reach them. By the way, I have no way to reach anybody except all of you, okay? That's it. All of you got here today by word of mouth. We did this in less than a week. I want all of you to reach out to at least 7 friends and neighbors in Bear Valley. You can reach 100, please do. I want you to reach out to that many and get them the information. Hopefully we'll have a YouTube video and help me get to everybody. I would hate it if there's somebody who misses this 6-week window because they didn't know there was a window. And the only reason I'm putting a window is because we have this July-August deadline that I'm trying to meet. And once we get all our collaborated information together, it's a lot that I have to compile to submit to them. I don't just get to take your little papers and go, here you go. That's not the way it works. So I need the time to do it for everybody. I wish I had more time, and I wish nobody would be excluded. I have it open to everybody, but that's where we're at. Would I be willing to try for a second round? Yes. Would it be as likely to be successful? Not as much. And again, anyone who wants to make their own 8-house community is free to do so, but I want the coordinated community effort where we're all actually have an action plan together, not individually.
We were canceled as of January the 8th for reasons having nothing to do with fire. The travelers canceled us because of the claims from our neighbor expanding his house. I did not put in the claim, he did. What does it mean for us to join your program for something that is not theoretically a fire cancellation?
Basically, one is having the complete fire community, that we're all working together, because our community, we have equestrian groups with evacuation plans, we have the DPAC evacuation plan, we have so many things already in place, but they're not connected to each other, they're not coordinated, we're not all on the same page looking at the same info. But the biggest part of it is once your property is certified, you're now back in the list of properties they want to look at, and you're now back in the position of being able to go shopping for insurance. And when you sell your home, the people buying your home are in a position to get insurance, because right now escrows are falling out. People can't get insurance and they're falling out of escrow.
Even with California?
Yes.
Or California?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, because we had to join that. We're still waiting on bamboo to make up your minds.
Yes, this will be a benefit. They're mandated to give you a discount and to put you in the good box versus the bad box.
Even though it's not.
Even though you're,
related.
Yes. I have quite a few people who are already going to be in the program right now that don't have any insurance, but they want to know that their property can have it again if they choose to. And I'm going to keep going. If there's anyone who actually wanted to do the community, I have Melissa in the back, and she actually has all the documentation and everything needed, that anybody's welcome to go with her. I would like to continue answering as many questions as anybody wants me to, and as long as the church allows me to continue standing up here in front of you.
We have to do, it's kind of like the weed abatement thing. We have to, it's going to be a constant all the time. New people are going to come, people are going to be moving out, and we educate everybody. It's a constant education, ongoing program. Thank you for all being out here.
Yeah, thank
Shelley,
you.
thank you. Let's give her a big hand for doing this.